Are we here now? Yes. Let me start again from the beginning. A very good morning to you, Grenada. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for today's edition of Gudday Grenada. Folks, can you believe it? Can you believe it? We have made it through another year. Don't know about you. I bet you have pretty good reasons to be thankful. I can tell you, I am most certainly extremely thankful to be able to sit here this morning and share at least a tiny part of today's, the final day of the year with you. You know, we're just going to take things very easy this morning and to wrap up the old year and roll our sleeves up for the new year. And I'll tell you, if there's anybody who is celebrating a special anniversary today, gotta be me, gotta be me, got to be me. Very informal program this morning, so let me tell you why I am so thankful to be sitting here this morning looking at you right in the eye. Today, or I should say tonight, will be 1 year since I supposedly had a heart attack. Boom. As I usually do on New Year's Eve, last year, went out there, sat on the balcony for a few minutes, because I love on New Year's night to sit out here on the balcony and take a look down towards the Grenadians area. And at midnight, see all the fireworks. I mean, you see fireworks from Sandoz, from the Radisson, Spice Island Inn, Coyaba, all along Grenadians. And fortunately, you can even see the tops of the fireworks coming up from Lansapine and the other bays on the southern part of the island. I say bays because a lot of people, believe it or not, send up fireworks from their yachts wherever they're anchored. And last year, I forgot to tell you about the one down right here, just in front of me down at Port Louis. But last year, we had a special occasion. Some locals put on a fireworks display right here on the Carnage. And let me tell you, they beat, as far as the display is concerned, they beat everybody else. It was awesome. And you know what? There's talk in the air right now that the one they're going to put on tonight will be even more outstanding. Incredible. So I sat and I watched the fireworks. And when I was through with that, I decided, okay, a big tradition, a lot of people usually watch the lowering of the ball, Times Square in New York. But that takes place an hour later, 1 o'clock our time, because right now the folks in the U.S. are about an hour behind us. So I watched that fireworks as well. And must have been about 20 after 1. I started feeling tightness on the chest here, burning sensation. And I thought, maybe just a case of heartburn. Yeah. It didn't go away. So I decided, hey, let me drink a hot cup of coffee. Because you know, sometimes you feel that sort of heartburn, you drink some coffee or something hot, and you burp, and off it goes. Well. Didn't happen. And the tightness started becoming a little bit more pronounced. And so did the burning. And I thought, hey, wait a minute. what's going on here? Aren't these the sort of symptoms people normally have when they're having a coronary heart attack? Okay. So I thought, boy, ooh boy. Lay down for a minute, didn't go away. So I thought, George, you'd better get some help. So I called the emergency department down at the hospital. They sent an ambulance, took me down to the hospital, and informed me that I was having a heart attack. Remember now, that's just like an hour and a half, 2 hours into the new year, okay? That wasn't very good news at all. To make a long story short, about a week or two later, found out it may or may not have been a heart attack. Well, several weeks after that, I got to see some specialists, and they said to me, Mr. Grant, you did not have a heart attack. What you had was a massive pulmonary embolism. For those of you who know what that is, or don't know what that is, it's actually a blood clot in your lung. Well, it so happens that on that night, I had not one, but two blood clots in my lungs. And for those of you who know anything about medicine, you know that, I mean, that's just as bad as having a heart attack. It's not very good news, okay? Well, I was admitted to a hospital, and here I am, 1 year later. 1 year later, I'm still here. And hence the reason I said to you this morning that if there is anybody who has reason to be thankful, it's got to be this kid you're looking at, George Grant. Yeah, I'm a 67-year-old kid. Say what you want, I'm still a kid at heart. 5 pulmonary embolisms. 5 pulmonary embolisms. And throughout my life, I've also been diagnosed as having terminal colon cancer and given less than a year to live. That was back in 2000. So what? 18 years ago. Yeah, man. Look at somebody who has a lot to be thankful for. A lot. And if you take the time and think, I'm sure you'll find out that you too have a lot to be thankful for. You're rich, you're poor, big deal. Big deal. You're still here, aren't you? This morning you can see, you're watching me, you can see, you can hear, you can taste, you can smell. You're breathing. And I would imagine, unless you're watching me on your smartphone somewhere out there, you have a roof over your head. And I haven't had brekkie yet this morning, but I'm sure that many of you have, and if even you haven't, I'm sure you're going to be able to put something into your mouth today. Yeah. These are the precious little things that matter in life. Yeah. It's not about the big house and the big car and, the money in the bank. And those things, they come in handy, I'm sure. But there are a lot of little things that we need to be so thankful to our God for. And that's something I will never, ever forget as long as I live. So, I'm not going to wish you a Happy New Year. No. At the end of the program this morning, you'll hear my wish. I decided to do a little piece this morning, and I'm going to wait until the end of the broadcast to do that. The reason being, for those of you who watched our program yesterday, Sundays with George Grant, you probably got a pretty darn good feeling of how Grenada feels about our future. Both Friday and Saturday, a friend and I took to the streets and started asking people, what would it take to make Grenada a better place in 2019? Obviously, we got responses based on their personal perspectives. And having listened to those responses over and over and over again, really made me stop and think. And so I thought, not everybody was able to join us yesterday, so I thought today I would share some of those thoughts with you. Well, all of those thoughts with you. We talked to quite a few people. We went to 4 different venues. On Friday, we went to the Spiceland Mall and the Vendors Market down at the Grenadians. And then on Saturday, we went to the bus terminal downtown, Melville Street, and also to the Market Square. Yeah. And the majority of the people I met, the overwhelming majority of the people, I probably knew just about a handful of them, but these are people I had never known before. Some of them never even seen them. Some you may just have seen on the street. So they were shooting from the heart. They didn't know, well, they know who I am because everybody knows, because I'm in the media, a lot of people recognize me. But I didn't know them, and it really didn't matter whether I knew them or not. I just wanted to hear what they had in their hearts. There are some people who were very, very apprehensive about talking on camera. They would tell me off camera how they felt. And as you listened to them, you could sense frustration, anger, resentment, some degree of hopelessness, But I'm very thankful to those who were kind enough to share their thoughts with me, and by extension, with you. So I'm going to share those thoughts for you starting in just a wee bit, okay? This morning, I have no national report for you. That's because the GIS obviously took some time off over the holidays, and they did not provide a national report, which is fine because it gives me the opportunity to share the thoughts that I will be sharing with you this morning. And as I promised, at the end, you and I will have, call it a little year-end tete-a-tete, just you and me, okay? So we'll get to that in just a wee bit. Let me take a moment here to see who's on Facebook out there. Don't expect to see tons of you out there on Facebook because I imagine a lot of you are preoccupied with your year-end chores. But I do see a couple of people. First of all, Veronica Sandy says, "Good morning, George. Last day of 2018. What a year, girl." Yes. Has been quite the year in so many different ways. I'm looking forward to the new year as I do every year, come hell or high water, whatever God sends my way. I'm thankful. Because yes, there will be challenges. I mean, everything's not going to be hunky-dory, but even when those challenges come, He gives me the strength to endure. And those of you who've been following over the past 14 years, yeah. In February, we actually begin the 15th year of Sundays with George Grant. You've seen the challenges, but you've stood by me. And you know what? I don't think I'll ever be able to find the words to express my appreciation for just your company, just knowing that you're there. And I'm going to challenge you to stick around in 2019. And together, let's get out there, face our challenges. We are going to make a difference. Don't give up. Don't give up. Okay? Also, out there this morning, hey, Margaret. Hey, Margaret. Margaret saying good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Best wishes to all for 2019. Thank you very much, Margaret. And thank you so much. I'm glad that I get this opportunity to do this publicly. But there's a lady who has stood by me for years. Many years ago, I went to New York to do the Sunday program. Back in those days, I used to take my laptop, saddle up, and go off to Toronto, New York, Montreal, London, England, and do the program. And at the one in New York, I actually got to meet this lady. And we've been friends since. I rarely ever see her. Once in a while, she'll hop on an airplane, come on down, spend a couple of days with her mom. And we do keep in touch, thanks to technology. Good lady. So Margaret's there sending a Happy New Year to you folks. And then Veronica Sandy says, thank God for blessings. Amen. Veronica, I'm so glad to see that you're thankful, just as I am. Just as I am. My heart overflows with thanks. Sometimes you get emotional, you know. Lori Bridgman says, good morning, Grenada. I stand with you as we turn this chapter. Stand up, my people. We got nothing to lose. We ain't gonna lose. We ain't gonna lose, Lori. Sometimes it's hard to see the answers that we're looking for. Yeah. But then just out of the blue, think back. I'm sure you've had some surprises in your lifetime. Yeah? Yeah. I'm sure you have. So have I. A lot. And sometimes it seems like prayer goes unanswered for days, weeks, months, years. Hang in there. Those answers do come. And I'm preaching to myself, by the way. Peter Bishop is saying good morning from Long Island. Hey, Pedro, I sent you a note a little while ago. Peter, I suspect, was listening to yesterday's program where we were talking a lot about cricket. And he sent a story about West Indies cricket to me. Pedro, I responded to you letting you know that I have shared that with one of the people who was on the program yesterday. Okay? Winthrop, Wiltshire. I'm sure he'll be happy to see that from you. Danny Christopher, hi George. God bless us all. Keep on praying for us, Danny. Keep on praying. We need it. We need it. We just need to open our eyes and be attentive. And we'll see the answers to those prayers. Sometimes, not exactly what you want. Sometimes, yes. Yes. But sometimes, not exactly what you want. And then you get frustrated and say, well, my prayer wasn't answered. And then down the road, in retrospect, you see, wow, it is such a wonderful thing that I didn't get what I prayed for. Ever happened to you? Yeah. Peter Bishop says, those were the best of days. Yeah, Pedro. George Grant on the road. Well, Pedro, you know, one of these days, I hope that we can do that again. It was great traveling to those cities and meeting Grenadians out there. And one of the very important lessons I learned on those trips is that for those of us who live right here in Grenada, we often feel very frustrated, even though we live on this beautiful little rock, this beautiful paradise. We get frustrated when we see some of the things that are happening here. Boy, let me tell you, when you hit the road and talk to the Grenadians who live abroad, you feel their pain. Because so many of them want to help us here in Grenada. But sadly, we make life miserable for them. Yeah? And you can sense their frustration. Because many of them genuinely want to help. Sure, I'm sure there are opportunists out there. But many of them have good hearts and really want to help. But trying to do business with some of the people back here at home, boy, you just don't know how frustrating it is. So, anyhow, that's my little introduction. took up almost half of the program. 23 minutes after, coming up on 24 minutes after 9 o'clock. So right now, what I'd like you to do is sit back with me. This segment's going to last about half an hour, and we'll have some breaks in between. But I want you to listen to how Grenadians responded when I asked them on the weekend, Friday and Saturday, how would you make Grenada a better place for all of us in 2019? The first segment you're going to see is the way they responded when we visited the Spiceland Mall down at Grenadians.
People have to be more human. That human side of people has to come back. And people should be treated with respect, with courtesy, with dignity and appreciation for who they are and what they are. Everybody have an equal part in this world, because we must remember we are only stewards on this earth. So we should be doing what we're doing nicely. Think of everybody and everybody's situation, not because of other things, but everybody has an equal share in Grenada. And we must learn that, we must appreciate that, and I think things will be better. Things will be better.
Yes, I was saying I think we need more love, peace and harmony in our land. Right?
All right, one, two, three.
People must love people for who they are. Regardless of what political party that you support, you must be able to be free and say what you want freely without no victimization. You know? And I think that by doing that, we'll have more love, peace and harmony in the land.
You want to make it better? I suggest leave it as it is.
Leave it as it is.
Yeah. The more things change, the more they remain the same.
If I were to make Grenada a better place in 2019, what I'd like to see is that people put the greater good first. That people be less about themselves and more about what's in the best interest of all. And most of all, what God desires that we be as a nation.
I think it would begin with the people. From the grassroots, people, once the people are better people, then the country would be a better country. In general, once people are good to each other, it starts from the bottom, go up, and it might come from the top, go down. Once the top is good to each other, from the top come down, then the country will be a better place. We are a beautiful place. We are a good country. There are certain things that need to be fixed, yes. And as I say, I think it starts with the people.
To begin with, my view is to change this country, you must change your government. And of course, then you have to look at a proper plan to develop the country. Of course, that should entail too, inputs from different organizations and individuals, groupings, whatever. But we need Grenada to come together because Grenada is polarized politically. And my own view is that it is difficult even for some people to make a comment or input because people start looking at you in a particular type of way. So that is what I could share in terms of beginning. But there's need to develop a whole overall plan which must come from the people themselves. That's what I would share in a nutshell.
Yes, I'm a Calypsonian, a taxi driver, and a people's person of the island of Grenada, Carriacou and Peter Martin. And for me to make Grenada a much better place, we need to have a little more love, unity, understanding, and share our feelings with each other for the best of our island. That's my way for making Grenada a better place.
Interesting question. First of all, I have to say, if I'm blessed with health, I would like to personally help to bring on squash into Grenada. That is a personal feeling of mine. We have 2 squash courts here. I don't think it's utilized as it should, and this would be my quest for 2019 to make sure that we have squash on our sporting arena. Apart from that, if any projects or any form of positive employment come about, then there'll be other things I'll pursue. But for now, that's the only thing in my forte, in my well-being that I can deal with.
Well, I believe that as a nation, what our focus should really be on is something that I do not believe would cost us anything, and we do not have to look at any capital resources, but look at developing the human aspect and how, as human beings, how we can relate to each other. And I believe once we can get that together and understand that we're all human beings and value each other as human beings, treat each other that way, then that can be the platform for anything else that we wish to see happen in our country.
How would I make Grenada a better place next year, 2019? Based on where I sit as head of the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, I will try my utmost to try to get persons to understand that they need to take responsibility for the waste they generate, and as such, we'd all make Grenada a more beautiful place and a better place in 2019.
We have to change the government. We have to change the government from the Prime Minister down. It's the only way Grenada could move forward.
So there you have it. That's the first of 4 segments that we're going to run by you. And as I mentioned, that part was done down at the Spiceland Mall down at Grenadians. Okay, I think people refer to it sometimes as real value. Okay, now from there, hop, skip, and a jump over to the vendors market down at Grenadians. There we also got some very, very interesting comments, starting with this young man.
2018 was a kind of a year. I think in 2019 we need to have a little bit more cooperation. I think we need to have a little bit more communal activity. I think we need to be more together, do more activities outdoors. You know, we take upon ourselves to do community cleanups, community cook-ups, community help-ups. I think these are the ideas that we need to be promoting in 2019. I think the young people need to be more involved. I think they need to have a say, because we've seen for what has happened in the year 2018, a lot of it has been come back to young and old, parties, this, that, the other. You know, I think right now we need to involve the young people more in how we govern Grenada, bring them up on more social issues, encourage them, motivate them. I think the young people are important for 2019 and 2020.
Being a teacher myself, I think that one of the ways of making Grenada a better place in 2019 is having more positive effort placed on teachers and what they do and the sacrifices that they make. We tend to value companies, especially in the tourism sector, who produce service. But as Grenadians, our most valuable resource is our human resource. And that is produced and managed, and the value is enhanced by the teachers who serve this country. Each and every single one of us here in Grenada is a product of a teacher. And I think a better Grenada is made by not better geographical resources, but by better human resources. And how do we get that? By empowering our teachers, showing them that we value them. And ultimately, a better Grenada is as a result of a better citizenry. And each and every one of our citizens starts in the classroom. So value the teacher, respect the teacher, treat the teacher with the integrity that they deserve. And ultimately, for now and for later, we will have a better Grenada.
To have a different Prime Minister, number one. Have a different Prime Minister, number one. Number two, remember, we all work like parent children, and teachers is important. Sometimes we send children hungry to school and teachers spend the money to give our children a meal. And we still not getting the little back pay, the little thing for the children. One week have a little cocoa store, the children will get a milk and show thing. We ain't getting that. The Prime Minister have ever so much and he still want too much. It's time for we all pull him down and said, Lord God, take him down from there and let somebody else come on there. Because Grenada is nice, but people shall not foreseen it. All he wants is only for himself. I realize that a man that haven't got a child on his own, he has no love for nobody in life.
I think basically for 2019, if we go back to the way we used to live, I mean, the last couple decades, being respectful of one another, being of service to our community, keeping our country clean. I was on the beach early on this morning and there was lots of litter on the beach. And I was a bit disappointed with that. But I think if we are aware of the importance of, just being true to ourselves and, being of service to one another, it could be a better place for years to come. As a Grenadian, I love my country. I want to see it do well. And, I just hope that we can treat each other with respect and some more love. I'm not seeing that. Even driving on the street, I mean, people are being so aggressive. Simple things like that. We don't need to be so angry and so much in a rush and what have you. We need to have that island feel that I knew Grenada growing up like the last couple of decades. So I want to see that again. Because it's a gem that a lot of people are just discovering and they want to come and experience this. So that's my take on that.
First of all, let me put it this way. We have to get rid of all these politicians that they know. Number one, the leader of the party, of that politician, he has to go, completely go, just disappear. Then, apart from that, some of the young people, we had to kind of straighten them out. They're gone off track. We had to straighten them out. And the next thing we need to do is to create some good jobs here, get some jobs going. Where we're going to get it, I don't know. But we have to create some jobs for the younger generation, because they ain't had nothing doing. All I could see most of them doing is drinking, smoking, and cussing a set of bad words. That's about it. So we need to change that up, So we need to get serious to put in place a government that will help the people, a government that will help the young people, the middle-aged and old, all the people in general. We need that big time. Once we get that, Grenada will be going blooming, it'll be flourishing, going straight. Nothing will stop it. But that's what we need right now. We need that.
Go.
Well, for me, for Grenada to start moving in a direction of being better, we have to start thinking people first. That's the first step. We have to get our people productive. Obviously, I think we still have a lot to go when it comes to our productivity with our youth and producing. We have to invest in our youth in terms of the skill sector and delivering skill. I think that was our base, and we can't get away from our foundation, which is agriculture and emphasis on agriculture and getting people into agriculture. I mean, there are so many dormant lands around, and we have so many youths not involved in producing, and we have to change that. And I think the start is getting our mindset on waiting for work and generating income, and this is where we have to start leading our youths to and our people to, that a job is not working for somebody, but a job is about production, and you can do it for yourself. And I think we have the resources that everyone can put in and independently grow their business and generate an income and not depend and be self-sufficient.
Okay, so there you have it. Our first two segments. Now, that particular segment was shot at the vendors market. I'm going to take a little break here right now and say thank you to our sponsors who have kept us going by God's grace. And then we'll come back and hear what the people down at the bus terminal had to say on bus terminal was on Saturday morning after this.
Hubbard's, bringing you Frigidaire Christmas cheer. With the purchase of any Frigidaire fridge, freezer, stove, washer, or air conditioning unit, you get a free 3-piece Frigidaire non-stick pot set. Come into our appliance department on the Carronage and Building Supplies Grandance to get your trusted Frigidaire products and enhance your cooking this Christmas. Offer available while stocks last. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, neighbor.
Here's the bill I asked you to pay for me.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need. And we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs.
They burn less energy, right?
Much less. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
And Grenlec is always advising us not to open the fridge too often.
That's right. And my family washes and irons in bulk.
With fuel prices changing all the time, how do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
So while Grenada can't control fuel prices, I can conserve energy and save money.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Why wish upon a star? For a bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, will give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Okie doke. It's now 17 and a half minutes away from 10 o'clock. Time now to move into our third segment, which was done Saturday morning down at the Melville Street Bus Terminal. Here we go.
Simply, I'll put it this way. A lot less petty selfishness and much more love.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I think it will take to make Grenada a better place in 2019 and beyond is honesty. I think as a country, as a community, we need to be more honest with ourselves. We need to be more honest with each other about the realities that are facing our country, about what drives us, about our motivations, about why we do things and how we do things. And I also think it will take some tolerance. But if we're to be tolerant, we really must be honest, because we want to start with ourselves, examine where we are, the things we do and why we do them, and then understand that people are driven by different motivations, and that people will do things that in any given point in time they think is right or best for them. If they're honest in that assessment, then it will be good if we can support them with that. But at the end of the day, I think people really must start at the place of being honest. Who am I? Why am I here? What do I want? And how can I contribute to making this place a better place for all of us?
Well, first of all, to make Grenada a better place for 2019, first we must acknowledge God as the Reverend, as the Creator, and learn to trust in Him and not in man and in things. People now these days are putting a trust in material things, and they feel material things will make them better. But it's God first, and then we learn to forgive one another and have a love for each other, care for each other. I see that people don't care for one another no more. Recently, they had a guy who was following the road, and because of the people passed, they left him alone because the car was so clean to put the man in, they left him to bleed almost to death. So we want Grenada to be a better place. First, we have to acknowledge God and forgive and have a love for each other. Man, human beings are more valued than things. People are putting things more valued than human beings, and it is wrong. So we need to make this country a better place, a happier place. We need to forgive one another. First, reverend God and forgive one another, have a love for each other. And that's why Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. And that's why we're going to make this country a better country. No politician can make this country a better country. We need to put God first. He said, blessed is the Lord, who country is God, who make God the priority, the master. Blessed is the nation, who God is the Lord. And that's going to make our nation a better country. So encouraging our people for 2019, let us show love, demonstrate love, care for each other, help one another, and this is going to help us to be a better country so we can be truly the land of spice. So God bless us as we go forward for 2019.
Well, for me personally, I look at circulation of the money to make Grenada a little more better, because if people don't have money, they wouldn't spend it, and therefore the economy wouldn't grow. So that is it.
Grenada has become a lawless society, and they have to have respect for the law. The young generation is mashing up everything, and it's mashing up. There's no hope for tomorrow with them, believe me. And the older folks is dying out, and they're paying no part of it, and the young generation just doing whatever they please. Too much on lawlessness in this stuff. You have to change. Okay?
Under this present government, I am saying, because no love in my heart for this government, they would not have a better place in this Grenada anymore. They got to tell a lot of lies to us, which they can't confirm it, and they don't understand what they are saying, and they want good for themselves and bad for the smaller people.
So what will it take to make it a better country?
What will take it to make a better place? We have to make a change in this Grenada here. Under this government, we have to make a change, a real change we have to make. The man that they hate and they spite against him, he going to rise. He will rise. He will rise. I'm saying that he will rise, and he will rise. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, to make Grenada go forward for 2019, we need some investors to come in the country and invest in the country. Make the country develop. And we need some tourism to do more action, to make work for the young people and them.
All we need to do is to change the party and we have a better Grenada. Because this party, they know and do nothing for the people in the country. Yeah, don't live in the country. You can look right now, them teachers and them suffer enough for their money. And Kid Michelle should pay them people their money because I don't see why he ain't pay them people their money. Yeah, up to now. And still saying they give them people 1%, then people them have to get 25%. And if you ain't give them people 24%, that means when school open, it will be problem in the country. The country go fall down. Yeah. So we need to give them people their money, and next election come, we need to change it. To change it, man. Yeah, make a sense.
Well, we need to see the agricultural sector go forward. Unless agricultural sector don't go forward, well, we ain't there no way. We ain't going nowhere.
My brother, good. All the best for the season. All right.
Specifically, what you want to see in agriculture?
Yeah. Well, all the idle lands get occupied.
31 years?
And the more youths get occupied in land, in farming and so on.
40-something years.
Because for in the past 25 years, I've been doing farming right now.
I'm telling you.
You're making a living?
Yeah. But at the end of it, you're still in a hole because it's still things are expensive. As you see.
Well, as a people, we have to get together and live good, loving and caring for one another. And we go live good, and Grenada will be a better place. We need to live together as one people, loving and caring, and to care for everybody. Not one set of people, everybody. Yes, what again? What am I saying again? Yes, that's all we need, you know. That's all we need, to live together as one people. We divided, and it shouldn't be like that. We divided it. Sometimes I get fed up myself, the way how people want to live. And call people names and do a lot of wrong things, and it's not right. Because Grenada is a beautiful place. I have a friend from England. She comes here every year and she talks nice about Grenada. So we have to live as one people and stop the fighting and the thing. I can't deal with that. So Grenadians have a blessed holiday and a happy new year. And I pray to God that things will be better for us in this little island of ours. Have a nice day.
We need a new Prime Minister should change. Because this Prime Minister should be own Grenada. He doing the people what he want, when he want, or he feel like. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be like Gary. Because this is what Gary did, cause a revolution. And just imagine a couple years ago what he did to Blaze. I know he's reflecting on him and he don't want that. So, from my opinion, getting him out of Grenada, bring a better leader, a younger leader with responsibility, I think that will make a difference in Grenada right now, honestly speaking. But that's about me, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Finally, let's hear what the people at the market square had to say.
For Grenada to be better, they have to take out Mr. Morgan with the devil they have in Grenada. And them man calling Grenada go better. He and the devil criminals that them have.
Why you say that, man?
Yes, well, that you want people who have Grenada going there too, the Prime Minister and the workers.
This man like children.
What's wrong with Grenada now?
He don't like children. The Prime Minister don't like poor people. Only rich people he fighting for in Grenada. That's what I am.
In Grenada presently, the present sitting government, that body is outdated. And for any prosperity to take place in Grenada, that governing body must be changed drastically. From top right down to bottom is rotten. And we need to do something. The people of Grenada have to stand up and do some critical thinking, positive thinking, strategic thinking, for we to get out of that I don't know, I can't even find a word in the dictionary to put it right now. But we're in a big mess in Grenada, economically, socially, you know, commercially, anyhow you want to put it, we're in a mess. And for that mess to clean up, the governing body must leave.
All I want to see is that they're putting in place for the youth, jobs especially in place for the youth, because when the youth is not working, they get frustrated and they do a lot of wrong things. So I'd like to see jobs in place for the youth. I would like to see the people that work a certain amount of years get the pension and the gratuity. I would like to see our country develop more, because right about now the country is not developed. I ain't see nothing going forward yet. So all I would like to see is people happy in this country, that they take care of the youth, take care of the ageable people, put like bus service in place for the people that do all the years of service of government. They should have a bus to transport the older people, older folks, and this kind of thing. And better health care, because we don't have no health care. Right about now, the 2 machines for X-ray in General and Princess Royal is done. So I have to say we don't have a good health care. So I would like to see better health care in our country. Because if we don't have health care and we can take care of our health, we're dead. So I'd like to see better health care. I would like to see that the government like come together if they can do it by themselves. Get advice from people like the opposition, the priests, the bishop, and the people that can help them. Because the country is not moving no forward. I would not like. We're not going nowhere. We have a few people I would like to thank. The principal of St. Joseph Convent for helping most of our she workers to be able to spend a good Christmas. The Salvation Army people, I would like to thank them too for helping a lot of people to enable to spend Christmas. The Sisters of Charity on St. John Street, I would like to say thanks to them too for helping a lot of people to be able to spend the Christmas. The Seventh-day Church in Archibald Avenue, I would also like to say thanks to them that help a lot of people to be able to spend the Christmas, because the spending power was not there at all and it's still not there. Thank you.
Okay, so to make Grenada a better place, it's a beautiful place first of all, okay, and it's great in many ways. But there's sort of fine-tuned areas that could do with some improvements. And I think one of the first things we have to focus on is our people. We need a lot more input in the social aspects and the community aspects to develop the minds and the whole overall outlook of people so that they can lift towards the 21st century in everything that they do, not only material aspects. So there you need the people. As we are in the market here, I think we really need a wonderful market like how we had so many years ago. I'm bringing a tourist friend around, and there's certain areas that you're just so embarrassed to show him because it's so dilapidated, and it's been years since the whole idea of refurbishing the market has come on, and it's still not finished yet. Why? We take so long to do things. We just need to be able to get a plan, get a program going, and get it done. And so if we could do that with every other aspect, I think Grenada would improve in many simple ways.
I would like to see for 2019 for my country, for prosperity, growth, development. I would also like to see our healthcare boost up to the ability that we can assist all our Grenadians on a whole.
Okay, my opinion, everybody have to have a clear head, clean mind, clean heart, and decide that, look, we'll revolutionize the thinking and let everybody prosper together. But so much of segregated mind, stress, frustration, we have to get rid of that. Grenada is a nice place, nice place. If we put our head together, and if we're not conscious, we'll lose consciousness because most of the people are not conscious. They're just thinking and living, but they're not conscious and focused. And you have to be serious about brotherhood and love, not mouth talk. Serious. You have people who they don't have to suffer, but we just play neglect when we should be brotherhood and neighborhood. Yeah, I just hope the people heart and mind change and they get conscious and realize what we're doing to each other. That's all.
What it would take to make Grenada a better place, plain and simple, is people who actually care about Grenada. The decisions that have been made so far obviously have not come from a place of really caring for even the least among us. And it is one of the reasons why we seem to be a bang-away country right now, where really the people's needs aren't being served. Really, it's just a lack of caring and a lack of empathy that the people who hold the reins of power just cannot put themselves genuinely in the shoes of the people who actually need to be served by this nation. And once we start respecting each other, as silly as it might sound to some people, just having respect for people's human rights and their place in the world, then we would start making better decisions that would see us develop better, I think. Happy New Year.
Good girl.
Okay. So that's it. These are the comments that we got on the weekend from Grenadians shooting from the heart about what is it going to take to make this place a better island in 2019. I am going to take a little break right now, but I don't want you to go away. I want you to hang in there because, I hope that you too are giving some thought about how we can make this place a better place, okay? And to wrap it up, when I come back, I want to share with you some personal thoughts, just my thoughts, because I too have some desires. There's some things I would love to see change. I'm not going to have the time to rattle off a whole long list, but there are some things I want to share with you. And we're going to take a little break and come back and do that in just a wee bit.
With free island-wide delivery, Hubbard's Building Supplies and Lumber Departments continue to provide the best quality lumber, steel, tiles, plumbing materials, electrical and general hardware supplies at competitive prices. We continually consult with builders, homeowners and contractors to improve product range and services. Enjoy discounts where applicable, including the use of credit and debit cards. At Hubbard's Building Supplies, Grandans and Lumber Department, Caranage, we offer quality service, affordable prices, giving you the convenient, reliable, free island-wide delivery. Call 440-2087 for all your home improvement and building solutions.
Together with you, our customers, we energize our community.
Together with you, we energize our economy.
We are working together to give our nation a better tomorrow.
With you, we energize our future. Together, we energize our nation.
Thank you for partnering with us as we energize our Spiceland.
Redleg, energizing our Grenada.
Grenadian General Insurance Company, strength and stability. Grenadian General Insurance Company, tell your friends, tell your family. We cover householders comprehensive, motor and even fire too. Contractors all risk burglary, public liability, professional indemnity, directors liability, and wait, we still have more. Come and find out more what you're waiting for.
We are located on Scott Street, St. George's. For more information, call 440-2434.
Tell everybody. Why wish upon a star? Our bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, we'll give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Okie doke, folks. Just gone past 10 o'clock, 2 minutes after 10 o'clock. I'm not going to be vague about my desires. I'll try to be as specific as I can. And remember, these are just a few. I am looking forward to the day when I can genuinely feel proud, once again, about the land in which I was born and grew up. That would mean turning the hands of time back to days when we really cared about each other. Not about what the other person could do for me or how much that person is worth to me. A time when we said things like please, thank you, how are you, and really cared about that person's answer. A time when we said, God bless you, and really meant it. A time when business places will be considerate of their customers and not just view them as sources of revenue or make you feel like they're doing you a favor by providing you with a service which, by the way, you're paying them for. I'm hoping for a time when the Grenadian people will become more involved in the governance of their country. Not just think of what they want or need, but the wants and needs of others, our brothers, our sisters, and in particular, the less fortunate among us. Not just sit back and make demands of our government, but rather work with our government to ensure that we all have our fair share. I long for the day when generosity replaces greed. There are a lot of people running around in this country proclaiming to be Christian. People who have somehow forgotten that it is better to give than to receive. And you know what? They will never have enough. I long for the day when I could actually believe the words that are uttered by those whom my hard-earned tax dollars support and provide a luxury for. Those days seem to be so far gone, replaced by promises which they know cannot be kept, by downright lies, persecution, victimization, maliciousness, hatred, while at the same time calling for unity and giving us a false sense of security. The economy grew by, the economy grew by, the economy grew by. Really? I long for a Grenada where we all have an opportunity to reap the benefits of this beautiful little land which God has so graciously given to us. A land where the color of your t-shirt doesn't matter. A land where if you refuse to bribe someone whose salary you are paying, you ain't going anywhere. I long for a land where the masses have the gall to elect a servant based on his or her qualifications and ability to serve, rather than because he or she promised you such and such. A little envelope here, a promotion which you know in your own heart you don't deserve. I guess I'm asking for a whole lot. Maybe I am. But this impossible dream could become a reality with a change in mindset. Yep. We simply need to renew our thinking, starting right where we are. We need to become a godly people. And we're not going to do that by sitting in a pew on Saturday or Sunday morning and yelling, "We praise you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah." That's not going to cut it, pilgrims. In closing, I'd like to share with you a passage from the Holy Scriptures, which has been ingrained in me for many years. And those who have been called upon to shepherd our flock, that is, Grenada. Yes, the shepherds, those in authority. You would be wise to pay heed to the following, believe me. It's a reading from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verses 7 to 10. Listen carefully. Therefore, you shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. As surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, because my flock lacks a shepherd, and so has been plundered and become food for all the wild animals, and because my shepherds did not search for my flock, but cared for themselves rather than for my flock. Therefore, you shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against the shepherds and will hold them accountable for my flock. I will remove them from tending the flock so that the shepherds can no longer feed themselves. I will rescue my flock from their mouths, and it will no longer be food for them. Folks, I'll tell you what, you go check that out for yourself. It comes from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verses 7 to 10. Now, just a quick glance here before we pull the curtain down, back at Facebook. Let's see here. Anthony DeRigg says, George, if possible, could this be an ongoing hearing from the people themselves? Maybe once a month. We have too many claiming to speak for the people. Happy New Year. Anthony, I'm working on it, and I do hope that I'll be able to get around a little bit more and talk to the people. Actually, you know, what you saw there this morning is more in line with what I intend to do. I mentioned that when we started doing these programs on social media. You're absolutely right, sir. Thank you so much. I'm working on that. Lion Thomas says, laughing out loud, LOL, laughing out loud at George. And Jennifer Strawn is wearing her sunglasses. Folks, that's going to do it, I think. Yeah. What else can I say? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And my only wish for you in the coming year is God's blessings. You don't need more. You don't need less. God's blessings. That is my sincere wish for you in 2019. God bless you, folks. And I will see you again, by His grace, on Wednesday.